Yo, what's happening?
What it do, people?
What it do?
Man, how you feeling today, Rod?
Uh, I'm in it today. We in it. Hopefully,
Hey, man, we here.
we
We
are
here
here.
back with another episode of Backyard Blitz. Had some stuff going on Sunday, but it's Saturday. We here to make it up to y'all.
Yeah. Here to make up. Get back on that grind, man. Get back on this grind before the season start really ramping up the next couple months. So what's good with you, D? What's good with you?
Man, been busy a lot, working almost 24/7. Actually, shocked I got today off, but hey, man, I'm with it.
I feel you, man. Today we got the NFC East, man, and this is it's an interesting division we got going on here. With the leading culprits over there, them be more Ravens.
Yeah, the the AFC East. I mean, it's a lot of moves and a lot of moves that were made. Um, there were some moves that happened that everybody was not too fond of. There were some moves that just didn't make sense, but it's part of the game. It's part of the business of the NFL, and so you just gotta make do with what you got on the teams that happen.
That's fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. One really big move I like to go ahead and go into is the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, let's get right to talking about Buffalo.
What in the world were they thinking?
You know, with Buffalo, um, honestly, right now Buffalo was graded overall a D in their offseason. You know, they made some key additions, getting Curtis Samuel from the Commanders, getting center Connor McGovern and wide receiver Matt Collins and Keon Coleman. So they made some additions to get some wide receivers, but the receivers they had prior to these new receivers were they were great receivers. I mean, you had Gabe Davis in Buffalo. Now he's with Jacksonville. And then you had Stephon Diggs, who was traded, which I don't think anybody saw coming, but he was traded to the Houston Texans, who are on the rise in their division and will possibly be win their division. And they lost Micah Hyde at safety and safety Jordan Poyer, which those were their best safeties. And then they lost Leonard Floyd at edge and cornerback Tre'Davious White and Dane Jackson. So they missed up. They lost a lot of key players that benefited them during the seasons of them winning the AFC East championship.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they've put themselves back in a hole where you got to figure out how to compete, continue competing at a high level against Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets, who are now looking to be, I would say, the number two team in this division. Um, Led by Aaron Rodgers being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Um, so talented in his own right. Unfortunate last year he had an injury, but the Bills did not help themselves getting rid of their best weapon possible. Um, they still have some talented tight ends, but I thought the running game was probably the biggest thing that they needed, and they helped themselves with that this offseason.
No, they still got the same running backs they had last year.
James Cook and Ty Johnson are the leading running backs right now. I mean, James Cook is good, but I don't think he's not on the level of a Derrick Henry who was out there, or a Saquon Barkley. He's not one of the top five running backs in the league.
Yeah.
So I think that does help. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. But I mean, having a capable running back in James Cook is fine. But their receiving threats is you got the rookie Keon Coleman, and then you got Curtis Samuel, which is Curtis Samuel's still a really good receiver.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel. I mean, me and you both, we watched a lot of him because both of our teams play the Commanders twice a year, so we've seen a lot of him. But this past season, he didn't really play a big factor for the Commanders.
No.
Like I think Washington's front office believed he would. You mainly saw it come from Jahad Dotson and Terry McLaurin. So I understood why they moved on from Curtis Samuel. And I just think Curtis Samuel, I think he wants to be the guy. But in this situation with Buffalo, it's going to be a little bit hard because, he didn't do much for the Commanders. And now you're coming to a fresh new team who's in rebuild. And they're kind of already expecting Keon Coleman, their draft pick, to be, the number one receiver.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, looking up and down at their depth chart, they didn't. I mean, they got Ed Oliver on the defensive side, but that's the only really name that really stands out, other than maybe Tyler Rapp. But everybody else is probably a mid-tier type of player. I think they could step their game up, but they need to have like a tremendous season offensively to make up for what they're lacking on the defensive side of the ball. Excuse me.
You good? Yeah. The defensive side of the ball, like I said, they lost some key pieces in safeties and DBs. Like they had some great players that were ball hawks, that were aggressive safeties and corners, and now you just lost them. So who do you have to fill in that situation to make up for when you got to face those teams like Aaron Rodgers, who likes to throw the ball downfield, and Tua, who is capable of throwing the ball downfield in your division too. And we already know that the AFC as a whole is, probably like the most competitive conference in the NFL compared to the NFC. So they're going to have a lot to deal with as far as like, fixing that defense as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think they also lost somebody else too. I can't remember who it was, but oh yeah, they're on their line. They lost center Mitch Morse. So now you're stuck in a situation too where Josh Allen, he has to develop a connection with his new center, because we've seen that when you have centers and quarterbacks, if they're not connected, it's bad for the line, especially if it comes to bad snaps.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see Buffalo probably not win the division this year.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning it this year. Not with Miami being so high powered. They've got so many tools everywhere on their field, offensively. Adding in Beckham, and then grabbing a talented rookie running back, in Jalen Wright. They also added in Malik Washington as a rookie as well, who's got some speed as well.
They also added in Jordan Poyer, who left Buffalo.
Yeah, so I mean they're looking really good. Can't forget they added Kendall Fuller. He may be undersized, but he's very talented corner. So I mean they got some key pieces along this offense and defense. I think their biggest problem is that they just can't play in the cold weather. I don't know what it is.
That the weather is definitely a key part in it, but I also feel like what's going to hurt them on the defensive side of the ball. losing Xavier Howard and Christian Wilkins, because Christian Wilkins is arguably a top 5 defensive tackle in the league, and he's now playing with Las Vegas Raiders, and the Vegas Raiders, they needed somebody in that middle to help out Cosby that rushes the edge. So they got a dog in Wilkins, but now you got to find somebody else who's going to clog up the middle and disrupt quarterback pressure and stop the running back coming down the middle.
See, I think their idea was not worrying about the middle of the run, but more so getting those chunk plays on the outside. So, being the fact that they score so highly, that team's going to have to, the opposing team is going to actually have to like put in and say, all right, we can't run up the middle and slow down the clock because we got to catch up. So now we got to throw the ball. We got to go outside. So that kind of deters a team from going up the middle, because that slows down the clock. That slows down the opportunities that they have to get those points on the board, unless you have a Derrick Henry. That's whatever.
I mean, yeah, but I think it kind of, I agree with you. Like, that probably was the mindset, but like we said about James Cook, I mean, a lot of his yards came with Buffalo from coming up the middle.
Yeah,
we saw it week 1 on Monday Night Football against the Jets. He was having a game. They lost, but he had a game, and a lot of his carries came from going up the middle against that Jets defense, who is supposed to be the number 1 overall defense in the league last season. So if Miami's thing is, hey, we want to contain the outside, and we're not worried about the middle, they're going to be in some trouble.
They are going to be in some trouble in some key games where the score isn't as high. But for the most part, I think they're going to, they're probably going to use more blitz packages. They have some speedy guys at linebacker. So I think they have a solution for problems. It's not that they forgot about it. They did bring in. They do have Deshaun Hand and what's that other dude? Sorry, I was just looking at it. Deshaun Hand and Tart from Houston. Those are big guys. They brought in Neville Gilmore. He used to play with Dallas at one point. He is a big, strong defensive lineman. But being that they're running the 3-4, most of their talent is going to be on that linebacker core, and with Phillips, David Long Jr.
Can't forget about Bradley Chubb too.
I was getting to Bradley Chubb as well.
My fault.
I wasn't.
We on the same page.
Yeah, so you got your outside. You got Bradley Chubb out there who's going to be able to run down some people. They also got Shaquille Barrett, pretty good linebacker as well. They got some depth at linebacker that actually helped them out. They brought into some rookie. Who's that? Chop Robinson from I want to say that was Penn State. Yeah, Penn State. He's pretty good. I was looking at him during the draft time, and he was one of the top D linemen, D ends that were out there. So I mean, adding a Chop to the middle, or they're gonna move some pieces around, and you're not gonna see the same front every down. So it's pretty interesting to see how they're gonna play this out. I still think they're going to be one of the one, or if not the highest scoring offenses this year. It's kind of hard not to see them like that, especially after what they did last year, putting up 40s and 60s, basically basketball numbers on a football field is pretty talented for all of them.
I mean, shoot, like, let's talk about that offense. I mean, you got Tua, who me and you both know, from being at Alabama, has the arm of a cannon.
Yes,
and I mean, he battled with injuries, but that offensive line this year definitely helped protect him from getting hit a lot in the pocket. He got Tyreek Hill, who's the cheetah, fastest wide receiver in the league. You got Odell Beckham now as an addition, who I believe they brought in to be a mentor because I feel like Odell still feels like he has some more in the tank. And you even got in Jalen Waddle still, who is a young receiver still, and I feel like even though he's had a past couple of good seasons, I might I feel like if this offense goes the way that they want it to go, Waddle could be in the discussion of making the Pro Bowl this upcoming year if he
Oh yeah.
stays healthy.
Yep. I agree
And then
with you.
we can't forget about the running back core because they believe Raheem Mostert was going to be the number one running back, but then we saw A Chain come out the blue and he balled out this past season. So now there's going to be a lot of two back running back sets that I
Honestly, I
think.
think it's going to be a three back running back set. To be real with you, because they did draft Jalen Wright, who is a pretty quick and strong running back from Tennessee. Kind of got stolen out from me, but oh my god, the draft. There's going to be especially if one of these guys go down, you're going to see a Mostert A Train. You're going to see an A Train right. You're going to see a Mostert right. You're never going to know what you're going to get from this offensive onslaught. So it's very hard to predict or even game plan for what they are, this package that they have and that they can put on the field at any time. I mean, you can have a bunch of receivers and two running backs. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, um, that's I 100% agree with you on that. But for this offense, like we talked, good right now about Tua, but then also I got some a little errors to say about Tua is his decision making. He's got to make the right reads because when he makes good reads, that offense is flowing. But when he tries to do home run plays or force things in the middle that aren't there, that's when the offense starts to struggle. And he's got to be able to read the right what the defense is giving him, even if it's just chunk plays. Just get the yards because you got fast receivers around you that you can just throw like a little small slant to, and they'll pick up 10, 15 yards for you. So you don't have to throw the home run ball a lot of times. You really, with this offense, can just throw slants and they're going to beat DBs down the field
That,
one on one.
that's a fact. That is a fact. It might beat two or three of them, honestly, if you give it to Tariq Hill at the right moment. Um, which which is crazy how high powered this offense continues to be. I want to say this what year three for them
Yeah.
altogether. For the most, yeah. So they just keep getting better each year. I'm excited to watch them. I don't think that they are any less in contention to run for a championship. It's just who do they have to go through to get it, and where do they have to play? If they can play at home the whole time, I think they will be fine. But I don't think they're going to be at home the whole time because you still have so many talented teams. You're going to have to play Baltimore. Baltimore's got cold weather as well. Kansas City, Buffalo. There's too many teams. I mean, shoot, New York is going to be in contention of that too. Um, so
Well, but you look, Buffalo is Antarctica over there.
yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it was a couple years ago. We had the Bills versus the Eagles in snow. They was just
Well, I was going to say the playoff game we just had this past year with the Bills and the Steelers.
man, just the tundra upon tundras up north is crazy, and I love it because it gives you an opportunity to see so many different types of game plans and ways of playing the game. Whether it's going to be, hey, we're gonna air it out. Oh, well, we got good weather. We definitely air it out. um, or you can go to New England where it's very hard to air anything out because hey, the wind in that stadium turns in a certain corner this way. Like it's crazy. You see the different
That,
stadiums and the weather that plays a part into a game plan.
yeah, that weather in Foxborough, that that wind chill over there, it can get high over there, especially during the winter time.
Yeah. But we go ahead and talk about the last team. We already know we're going to be the last team, unfortunately. Brand new coach and Jared Mayo, offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt. Sorry, Demarcus Covington is the defensive coordinator, and special teams. You got Jeremy Springer, but they're putting all their eggs in the basket because the new quarterback Drake May. They're probably going to start Jacoby Brissett because of the seniority and probably not wanting to push him out there so fast. But I mean, if he wins the quarterback battle in training camp, I mean, I don't see why he shouldn't be on the field.
Um, I said it before. Drake May, I feel like proved that he has potential to be a good quarterback in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I watched him at UNC, and I had the same mindset. Like, well, he's in the ACC. We've seen quarterbacks like Mitch Trubisky, Daniel Jones. We've seen a lot of ACC quarterbacks who've went to the NFL and ain't done jack outside of Deshaun Watson when he was in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And as I say, in Houston, not now in Cleveland, in Houston. So we're seeing or even Trevor Lawrence, like we're seeing like a lot of those guys in the ACC who everyone expected to have like tremendous years, and it didn't pan out. But for some reason, to me, Drake May has shown that this in these combines and what I've seen from tape that he can play at the next level. And UNC, they had a good season this year, so that made it look even better. So I'm all for seeing what Drake May can do. I hope he'll prove me wrong and put me back in my way of saying, well, he's from ACC, he's not going to pan out, because I got a little hope in him. But it most likely will be Jacoby Brissett, who will be the starting quarterback, which I feel like he deserves his shot because he gets snubbed a lot in these teams he's played with.
Oh yeah, facts. Him and who's that? Joshua Dobbs. They both been getting kind of snubbed lately, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, when you look at Jacoby Brissett when he was in Indiana, he played tremendously. Even with a I won't say a bad team, but more of a mediocre team, and he still produced and he got you some wins here and there. It wasn't a winning season, but still, he still kept you in games. He didn't make you lose games. It wasn't because he made a bad decision. We lost the game. No, he made great decisions in the pocket, using his legs outside of the pocket, getting the ball down the field. He made tremendous throws. I mean, he's a very, very talented quarterback in his own right. He just doesn't have the opportunity. He just hasn't had the opportunity to say, "Look at me, look what I can really do." And I think this is an opportunity for him to say that. For if not this team, but the next team he goes to.
I'm gonna say a quarterback. Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. Finish your thought.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was I'm gonna say a quarterback that you might disagree with, but I mean he played in our division, and for the team he did well when their starting QBs were out, and then ended up getting sent to Atlanta and has a guy shot. Taylor Heineke, I feel like deserves a shot because me and you both have seen that he was capable of showing that, like, hey, I can get wins, I can play in this league. And the Commanders won games with him. Now when they played against the Cowboys or the Giants, he couldn't handle it. He only, I think, handled Philly, which was weird that his best games are against Philly in the division, but that's another story when we talk about our division. But I mean, I think Taylor Heineke is another backup QB who I believe deserves a shot. And he's kind of in a screwed up situation where he's playing in Atlanta where you got Kirk Cousins now, and now on top of Kirk Cousins, you got uh
Michael Penix
shoot,
Jr.
Michael Penix. So
Yeah,
that's just another backup QB. I have to say, but back to the Patriots, their offseason grade was a B plus, which is not too bad because they made the right move getting Drake May. Um, they did lose Trent Brown, which is their offensive tackle. They lost QB Mac Jones, which we knew was coming,
yeah.
and they lost Devontae Parker to the Eagles, who just recently last night announced retirement.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's sad to see a good player go. I think he had tremendous talent, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do for yourself, for your family.
Yeah,
Um, and it would hurt because you keep getting put behind people. I mean, you go to the Eagles, there's no way you're making that starting lineup with the power that they have out there. So it's hard to see you in there because you don't really run in the slot. And even if you did have slot players, I mean, you move JJ Brown to the slot, you can move him outside the slot. You got Devontae Smith who can go in and out. So
yeah,
they have tremendous weapons for the Eagles. But and it's hard to find yourself in a position where I can be on the field. I think there were worse places that I think he could have gone that he would have been on the field. Oakland, Arizona, possibly.
yeah,
Even Dallas. Honestly, I thought he would have made the field if he went to Dallas. But um, you just got to do what you got to do for yourself. Maybe your mindset wasn't there anymore, and you just lost that grind. I guess I don't know, but wish you
Well,
well. What's up?
I was saying his biggest thing was spending time with family, and he felt like he was away from his wife and kids for a while, so he wanted to make sure he spends time with them as they get older. So he just, I guess, some players they have their moments, coming into the league as a kid dreaming about it, and then after years go on, your body just tells you no, and it's time to move on. So
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm not mad at that. I mean, you got to do what you have to do for yourself and your family, like I said. Um, so I wish him well in whatever endeavors he takes him to next. But as far as the Patriots go, they have a couple places that I think they needed to make some moves. I mean, they did get a receiver in Jalen Polk. They also have Javon Baker. So, you got two receivers right there.
well, they got three now. They got KJ Osborne from
Yeah.
the Vikings too.
Yeah. I mean, they also got Juju Smith Schuster, who's not starting. That's funny. Demario Douglas and Kendrick Braun. I think that they really needed help at the running back position. Um, uh, Ramon Ramondre Stevenson is
Yeah,
a capable running back, but he's not for what the future holds. They need a running back at least in the top 15 to move the chains, get some explosive plays down the field. He's a bruiser back.
yeah,
He's a big bruiser back. They do have Antonio Gibson, um, and a couple other people that is on there. I think they drafted Deshaun Frenwick, but not sure how that's going to play out. That looked like a late round draft pick.
they did lose Ezekiel Elliott too at the running back position, so he's going
Yeah.
back.
I
Going
mean,
back to Dallas.
being that with the new coach, a lot of people move on. You went to there to
Yeah,
play with Bill Belichick and learn from Bill Belichick and how good of a coach he's been um, over the past decade, really. Um, but mainly because it was a dynamic duo, him and Brady, and you can see that the difference with Brady not there anymore. You can't depend on your quarterback. Well, not depend. Um, Kind of like just allow your quarterback to do freely things, because sometimes they have one, you haven't earned that respect yet, or you just haven't become that kind of player. Um, and what they thought they were going to get from Mac Jones, is what you got from Mac Jones. He's just a game. He's just a he's just a regular quarterback. He's not amazingly talented. He can make throws, but he doesn't change the dynamic of the team to go upward or downward. It's going to stay in the same position that it was before you got him. And he's going to be a good backup somewhere. I think he went down to Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Jacksonville?
I think it was Jacksonville
I think so.
or Carolina, one of the two.
I thought it was Denver, but you might be right. Um, yeah. So Mac Jones, I understand a lot of Patriots fans thought, when he first came there, he was going to, be the answer. Seeing that when they had Cam Newton there starting, bless you, seeing that Cam Newton was there starting, I guess like fans weren't a fan of him, so they were like, we want Mac Jones, and Mac Jones did have a great rookie season that ended putting him in the Pro Bowl, but I feel like the pressure just got to him too much to where he started, he was trying to force a lot of throws and make a lot of bad reads that he thought were good reads that he could get away with. And when you make bad plays, especially in Foxborough, that fan base is going to let you know you're messing it up. And Bill Belichick, he going to let you know too. So I think it was time for them to part ways, which, sometimes you need to be in a new light to shine. So, hopefully we're in his new spot. What'd you say?
No, you're good. I'm about to say something crazy.
Oh, hopefully in his new spot, it gives him a better opportunity to get better. So when it's his time to start again, he balls out. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna say this. Being me and you, we are college fans as well. You Oklahoma, me Alabama, and I'm gonna say this about Alabama players. Not every Alabama player is made the same. They are not made equal. They are not.
Yeah.
So when you look at players like a Mac Jones, and then you look at Tua, even if you look at Jalen Hurts, they're not made equal.
They're not.
Talent, your talent is what they grab, and they develop you into a better player with the talent that you already have. Mac Jones was just a bless you. Mac Jones was blessed to be on a team that was talented from top to bottom. He had weapons that if you missed it, you missed it. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss some of the weapons that he had on the team at the time. Um, so
Yeah, I agree with you. To me, watching Alabama a lot, because I did low key watch you guys a lot, especially in your big games. Mac Jones to me was like probably by far the least impressive quarterback. He
yeah,
was NFL caliber, but I wasn't highly as impressed as I was when you guys had Jalen Hurts there and Tua there. Even well, I'll probably say Mac Jones kind of was like the equivalent of how I felt about AJ McCarron.
yeah, just about. I mean, it's just a, a, a fill-in quarterback until something more talented comes through. And you look at Tua, you look at Jalen Hurts, you look at what's my man down there in Carolina? Draw blanks.
Yep, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Their talent was the fact that they were able to scramble, and
Yeah.
make something happen outside of the pocket and down the field. McCarron and Mac Jones, they weren't making things happen down the field. They were just able to hit the people who were making things happen down the field. They were able to hit them because they got open. You got talented receivers that can get open a lot more than most in college.
Yeah.
To say it's any easier in the NFL. It's actually it's not easier. It's actually harder in the NFL because the margin of error is a lot slimmer than it is in college and high school. Like you have these guys who are top 100s in high school, top 50 in their state. They go to college and they're not top 100. They're not top 50. You're in the 500, and it's
Yeah.
those guys who raise their game up to become those top 100 type of players that go to the NFL, and then you still have to battle there because you're back down at the bottom that you just started from, and now you have to figure out how to get back to that top 100 or top 10 caliber kind of player. Um, and you, as a receiver, there are less. I mean, not as a receiver, but just as a football player in general, at each position now you have less and less opportunities. You have more and more competition. So now when you're in college, you're fighting against about 500 players, 200 to 500 players at your position. That shrinks down when you go to the NFL because now you're looking at 100, maybe less than that. Like you, the positions are the ability to get to the NFL is not completely um, impossible. The issue is being on the field in the NFL, and it's only those top 150 players that are on that field.
Yeah.
Those backups
Um,
you don't see very often, and it takes them a couple years before they really get to a point where you see them on the field more often. That's because somebody retired or somebody left the team.
I mean, yeah, you hit it right on the nose. I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people struggle to realize is when you're in college, you can, you know, have a great season and be like, the most dominant, athletic, and nobody can take you. But once you go get drafted and go to the NFL, you're going against guys who like back in their draft class was doing the same thing you're doing. Hey, there he is. Okay, no,
Hold
he's
on,
not.
let's not.
But you're going against guys from the past, few years, even decade, that were dominant in their draft class, and you're having to show how good you are and that you deserve to play in this league. And that's why we see a lot of these players like, Kadarius Toney, who everybody raved about in Florida, was like, oh, he was such a great receiver in Florida. He was a great return man. And then he came to the NFL and it was like he's injured every week. And then the games he plays, he's not doing anything. Like he didn't even get his first touchdown until he got to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And it was a walk-in touchdown at that. But then after that first Super Bowl win, he went ahead and didn't do nothing else this past year. He had so many drop passes, and he cost them a game with the um against the Bills in the regular season when they did the reverse play that they called offsides.
Yeah,
So I'm going to be straight up, like there's going to be a lot of guys in this league who coming in this year who we may want to say, yeah, he's going to be a beast, but now we got to see it.
yeah,
We got to see it.
agreed. Um, and with the beast, we need to go and look at one of the teams we feel is probably going to win or be at least second place in the AFC East, and that's your hated your hated team, one of your hated teams, the New York Jets.
They ain't the real New York. They ain't a real New York team.
Oh man, here we go.
Look, having you got one Super Bowl back when freaking way back in the '60s. Y'all ain't won nothing since.
But apparently, we always talk shit about us, but it's all good. So the Jets, they kind of they added some key pieces that they needed. And that's at the receiving position. They drafted Malechi Corley.
Yeah.
Corley. They still got Garrett Wilson, and then they grabbed a Mike Williams from the LA Chargers. You give them a big receiver. They still have Xavier Gibson. Alan Lazard is still out there. You got your tight end Tyler Conklin, who's really talented. Jeremy Rocket. You got Brees Hall, who came into his own, in my opinion, and when he was up there. But then they added another draft pick in Breland Allen from, I want to say, Indiana.
Yeah.
As running back. So, they looking to help themselves out, especially to protect their franchise quarterback right now, and Aaron Rodgers. And with these kind of weapons, I think Aaron Rodgers can actually make some things happen. Hopefully, he stays healthy all year, and pray to the crystal gods.
Look, Aaron Rodgers. All right, I was about to say something off the wall about Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers, yes, he is. He's a good quarterback in the league, and I think the thing with Aaron Rodgers that pisses a lot of people off is, I think to him he feels like it's a self-confidence thing, but outside of everybody else who doesn't really know him feels like it's a type of arrogance, because it's like he wants to be in control of everything, as far as like picking players, as far as like running the front office, which when you have stars on your team in any sport, obviously you want to get their side of who to pick up too as a general manager. So they made some smart decisions getting Tyron Smith, Olaf Fashanu, Morgan Moses. They made some key additions. Mike Williams as a receiver for them, I'm all for it. But at the same time, Mike Williams battled a lot, and I mean a lot of injuries with the Chargers that kept him from being on the field. And when he was on the field, the Chargers were at their best with him and Keenan Allen. So to me, with Mike Williams, he just got to stay healthy if that offense is going to be good. And it kind of sucks because he's in MetLife, and that field at MetLife, that's caused a lot of injuries. And then we did see some key departures. So they lost edge rusher Bryce Huff, that had a good season with them on defense, and they lost defensive end John Franklin Myers, as well as their former starter QB and backup behind Aaron Rodgers that had to start this year as well, Zach Wilson to Denver.
I don't think the Zach Wilson was that much of a problem. I mean, they got Tyrod Taylor, and then they picked up Jordan Travis from Florida State. So, I mean, they cleared that backup part. But I think I'm looking at their defensive side of the ball. They have key pieces, man. I mean, they got Hassan Reddick from Philly.
Yeah,
he's a talented guy. Who's that? They got Jerome Johnson, Javon Kinlaw, Quinnen Williams, Quincy Williams at linebacker, CJ Mosley from Baltimore at that. Looking at their corners, Sauce Gardner's pretty great. JD Reed, was that Chuck Clark, Tony Adams. Their defense has always been pretty good. Actually, their defense has been really good. I put them at the probably top 10 at least.
Yeah.
I think they could make some strides with their defensive coordinator, um, Nathaniel Hackett, not Nathaniel Hackett, Jeff Ulbrich. I think they're going to move forward. I think they are going to move forward with the team that they have, adding their rookies into the mix. When you look at Stinger at corner, Jerice Monroe. They got a safety and Jalen Key probably going to be on the field. Like I said, their running back Breland Allen. He's an older, more seasoned college veteran.
Yeah.
Battled some injuries a little bit, but I think he's going to make some waves too. Get an opportunity to at least be in that second position or get on the field at all. Honestly, they shored up their left tackle position, and then they drafted the left tackle because they understand Tyron Smith is going to probably be injured sometime this year.
I mean, he getting older too, so maybe Tyron Smith, this might be a one and done opportunity where he may be saying, hey, like it's either Super Bowl or bust with
Possibly.
me being here.
Yeah,
because he played his whole tenure with the Cowboys. How many years was he with y'all?
Man, I want to say at least 10 to 12 possibly. I mean, he's been here for a long period of time, and he was so consistent, so strong. He's just really strong left tackle. I mean, you put him on your blind side, you don't have much to worry about. He doesn't let that many pass pressures get to the quarterback at all. So I wish him well. I mean, I wish he would have stayed, but I understand money is money, and it happens.
Business is business.
Yeah. So everybody got to move on. I think that he was tired. I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, we need to trade him." I was trying to figure out why. Why would we trade that guy? That man has been a staple for us. Having him and Zach Martin on the team.
I hated him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't like him when we played y'all. I hate
him. He doesn't let you do anything, man. Dude's got some strong paws, man. Pause.
Every time Kayvon Thibodeau tried to rush that edge or go up the middle, that man was like right there. And even when he had a shot, or Azeez Ojulari had a shot, this man would pop out the blue and then just like hit one of them. I'm like, bruh.
He's everywhere, man. He's been one of the best, if not the best left tackle over the past 10.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Fame guaranteed. First ballot, don't know, but I would love to see him as a first ballot. He's gonna.
If he don't get in, then NFL Hall of Fame is rigged.
He's definitely
already, but
definitely gonna get his name put in the Dallas Cowboy rafters, guaranteed. Because of how good he's been.
Yeah.
So, but let's go with a good thing. I wanted to do. We started doing last episode. A good ranking of each position in this division. Let's start with the quarterback. Who do you have as number one quarterback in this division?
Aaron Rodgers.
You have Aaron Rodgers. I actually have Tua. I have Tua.
That's not bad.
Because I mean, those are 1 and 2. I mean, they are clearly the best. So who do you have as 3? We'll leave those as 1 and 2. They're going to be up there at the top either way. So who do you have as 3?
At 3, I got Josh Allen, because right now we don't know who's going to be at quarterback for the Patriots between May and Brissett.
I mean, either way, I don't think either one of them are better than Allen at this point in their careers. So until we see Drake May on the field, and until we see Jacoby Brissett given an opportunity to put a whole season together, I still put them at number 4.
Yeah,
collectively. Running backs.
Running backs at 1, I got Miami, A-Chain and Mostert.
Yeah, that's a 1 and 2 combo that you just can't beat.
That's the yin yang combination right there.
Hell yeah, them boys is really putting it together down there in Miami.
Yeah.
I would go. That's my one. Those are one. Miami is just one. Two. I'm gonna actually go with the Jets with
Oh, I
Bryce Hall.
knew.
I'm gonna go Bryce Hall because he put in even with a backup quarterback, he still put in a tremendously good season last year,
Yeah.
and I think he can only get better with a veteran quarterback beside him. So I'm gonna go Bryce Hall.
Yeah, Brees Hall. I mean, he like believe it or not, so he had his numbers were good before this past season. He just had that torn ACL that he had to miss the rest of the season because I think he played 4 weeks
Mm-hmm.
and he was doing good for the Jets in 2022. It's just once the ACL tore, he had to miss the season, but he played a full season 100% healthy and he balled out for them at the running back position.
Yeah,
Definitely saved them in some games that they were about to lose.
I got you.
So at 3 though, I'm gonna go Buffalo. Cook.
Yeah,
That
I think James Cook. I don't think
yeah.
he's in his right element. If I'm not mistaken, Cook was in Minnesota when he started.
No, that's his brother.
Oh, that was his brother. Okay, never mind then. Then I'm wrong. I mean, he can
Yeah.
do whatever you need to do. So four is going to be in New
You're
England.
talking about Dalvin Cook in Minnesota.
Yeah, yeah. What?
Dalvin Cook is now with the Jets though, but
You said Dalvin's with the Jets?
yeah, Dalvin Cook's with the Jets,
Oh man,
but James Cook is with the Bills.
that's interesting.
Yeah, they picked him up last season, like mid-season. They picked him up.
They might have let him go because he's not on their depth chart.
Oh, okay. So he probably did get let go.
Yeah. Um. So last but not least is going to be the Patriots.
Yeah.
Stevenson. Um, I'd love to see if he could be something more than just a bruiser back. I think could move up to the third spot. I
Yeah.
just don't see anybody getting to that number one spot because of A Chain and Mozart, honestly. So receiving cores. We're gonna go receiving cores instead of just receivers. I would have did receivers, but Diggs is not here.
Man,
We're gonna go receiving cores. I'm gonna let you hit first one. What you got?
I got the Miami boys.
Yeah, Miami
But
boy.
stay off that boat. Stay off that boat. Do not get on that yacht.
Do not listen to Beckham.
Do not get on the yacht. If Odell says let's rent this yacht out, don't go.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with I'm going with the Jets. I think their receiving core is pretty talented, even though you have a questionable Mike Williams. He's gonna be questionable all year. I think Crowley is going to step up, and Wilson is definitely going to continue being as good as he's been for the past year.
Yeah.
Um, so number 3 has got to be the Bills. But honestly, I was thinking about throwing a wrench in that and saying that the Patriots have a better
I was
receiving core.
too, but yeah, I might go Bills only because you got Josh Allen right there at quarterback, and he's going to be good. He's good enough to get you the ball.
I'm just hurt. I'm the only reason why I say I was thinking about it because one, yeah, you do have Juju Smith-Schuster and these two rookies that you got at receiver and Polk. Jalen Polk is from Washington, and Javon Baker,
Yeah,
from Central Florida.
and KJ Osborne.
Yeah, KJ Osborne coming in from Minnesota. He's not even in the starting lineup, by the way. So I'm gonna point that out.
He should be because he definitely proved that he deserved to be a starter when he was in Minnesota.
Yeah, but I mean, they already had Douglas up there. Who,
And Juju.
well, Juju's not starting either. So
Oh wow.
neither Juju or KJ Osborne are starting as of right now.
Yeah.
Kendrick Braun and Douglas will be the starters starting out. Um, So I mean, they have a pretty interesting lineup. I think the key for them, and this is why I said it, because one, you're the Bills are putting their basket in Coleman as
Yeah.
the starting as the number one, the X receiver, and I think that could be trouble for them. I think Samuel is really good, but after him you got, you know, Chase Claypool, Mac Hollins, Valdez Scantley,
Yeah.
and Khalil Shakir. I don't think that is a good enough receiving core. They're gonna have to either find somebody in the free agency. Um, and honestly, putting Curtis Samuel on the outside is not. I think it doesn't help him as much. I think he's good, but I think he's better at the slot.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out. I think having him having the ability to move in and out is actually tremendous. It will be tremendous for Buffalo if they figured out that they can do that. But they need an outside piece that can do the same. I think Coleman can do the same, but you still need that outside guy who can just burn up the field. And I think that's why they have Samuel there.
Yeah.
But I'm putting Bills at 4 though. I'm putting Bills at 4.
Okay.
I talked myself into it.
Okay. All right.
So let's hit the defensive side of the ball. Let's go defense, all defense, and I'm going the Jets defense.
Yeah. By far.
By far,
By
just
far.
too talented all the way around. But I'm assuming you're going Miami too.
What, 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Miami at number 2. And
you
then
you still got Jalen Ramsey over there, and
it's tough to go up against that dude. That dude is a talented corner.
he's 50-50, but he's a talented corner.
He's a talented corner. But I mean, you got him over there. But then who do you go and attack? Do you attack Kendall Fuller, or do you attack Jalen Ramsey? Now you over there trying to figure out who I'm attacking. Then you got to figure out that you have coming over the top. You got Javon Holland and Jordan Poyer. Come on, Doug. Well, actually, Poyer's gonna come from underneath. Like there's so much to go here. Like they can move these guys and you know, disguise these coverages very well with these kind of players. So,
and then let's not forget, you still got Nick Chubb once he gets back off his once he gets 100% healthy from this offseason.
You mean Bradley Chubb?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think he's full go, if I'm not mistaken. If not, you're gonna have if he's not full go, you're gonna have Shaquille Barrett over there behind him from Tampa, which is just as good. Roaming around there. So the defense is pretty good. I think they could get better.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see them. We just want to see them put it together. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm putting these two at a tie because I don't believe in either one of these defenses. I mean, I do like some of the players that are in both sides. When you look at New England, who was that? Matthew Judon from Baltimore. Jonathan Jones. They got some good guys. They got your boy Jabril Peppers. Remember Jabril Peppers?
He been with. Oh wait, he's still in New England though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in New England.
No, he been with New England the past 2 seasons.
Was he? I didn't
Yeah.
know he was there. Damn, he been missed. I ain't seen him in a minute. They got Christian Gonzalez, is actually really strong corner. I can't deny that how good of a corner Christian Gonzalez.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you though. I'm actually having the Patriots at 3 and Buffalo's defense at 4.
I'm not mad at it.
Only because how hard that Buffalo defense just got hit this offseason with all these moves.
True.
Like everyone's talking about the Buffalo offense with the receivers they lost, but everyone's forgetting how good that defense was. And they just lost a lot of key players. So I got Buffalo at 4 defensively.
Yeah. Hey, salute, True the King. Salute, True the King. Appreciate you stopping through, my boy. You the big dog. See you tomorrow. um, yeah, man. I don't mind either one of those, man. Those are pretty good. I do think that the New England Patriots defense is probably going to be a little better because of those hits that Buffalo took.
Yeah.
But it's hard because if they're going to be on the field a lot, because I don't see the New England Patriots offense really putting up a true fight yet.
No.
So they're going to be on the field for quite a bit. So they're going to be tired. But they're going to put up. I think they're going to put up a couple, some good games here and there. So
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the NFC, the AFC East, I think the winner is definitely clearly Miami, and probably hitting the wild card is going to be the Jets.
I
But
agree.
I could see vice versa. To be real with you, I could see vice versa. The Jets going and having a tremendous season behind that talented defense and Aaron Rodgers, and then Miami be putting in the cold too much, and they can't figure out how to win them.
Look, if Miami gonna win, they're gonna need to be on the coat in trench coats playing.
Man, they need to go do their off season in the cold, not in the sun. You're gonna be in the sun all year.
Because they thought wearing Vaseline was gonna keep them warm in Kansas City. Man,
no,
that cold is a different cold.
You have to run around a while, bro.
Not only you got to run around in the cold, but you got to deal with how the energy in Kansas City, how loud that fan base gets.
Oh yeah, they get really loud. I think the only thing better than them is probably going to be 12th man in Seattle. Can't lie to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
if Seattle gets back to that winning culture in that division, 12 man will show up.
Oh yeah, I mean it's about the same as when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the terrible towels, man. They come out in droves every day, every game. They're out there just swinging them around. So,
I mean, I'm gonna throw this out there too. When New York starts winning,
I'm gonna
New
go
York
ahead and
show up.
let you not go through that foolishness.
Hey man, you know how New York sports is. You know
how you're right. Yeah, the New York Jet sports has been on top.
That's crazy. Wow. Nah, bro, that's crazy. Well, everybody, you know what? We ended it right here for that.
Telling you, boy, because we know it ain't the Giants. Yeah, we go up there to Madison Square Garden. You're right. That's on it.
Madison Square Garden was turned last night for the NHL game. The Rangers took care of business.
Good games back there. Good games, man. New York's been staying on the map consistently in each sport. I can't hate on them for it.
Appreciate it.
I wasn't talking about the Giants though. Moving on. That's why New York Jets is there, not somebody else. Yo, up the score was good.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You know what it's about. You know what it's about.
No, it ain't. Don't even trip like that, man.
Man, Rodney, look, I'm telling you right now, if the Giants, I know it's not going to happen this season, but in the future, if we have a good season, man, New York going to be turned.
No, I'm not.
New York will be turned.
Y'all wasn't turned last time, and y'all won a championship. So I want to hear that.
What are you talking about?
We weren't turned up.
Yes, we were.
I was shocked that y'all got there just like everybody else was. Nobody want to hear that.
Man, nah. See, you just hating now, bro.
Baby Manning, get out of here.
You just hating now at this point.
I'll be that. I don't care. I don't care what you say.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But it's okay. You want to start the trash talk now? You can. I'm gonna do what I do best.
Nah, I said I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna stay quiet this offseason. I already had a bunch of Commander fans talking trash to me. We're not even at the week 2 game yet because we play the Commanders here in DC, and I already got my ticket.
I'm saying it's in DC. It's not in DC. Landover, Maryland.
Okay, it's in Landover, Maryland. Whatever. That's that is true. It's in Landover, Maryland. So it's not in DC, but yeah, it's in Landover, Maryland. So we already got our tickets. They already been trashing me. It is what it is. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last season. I was quiet the whole game, and then once we put the work on them, then they got all upset.
Hey, I don't know what they upset about. Should have known it was coming.
They got mad because Tommy DeVito came in.
They go with the got the mob on their ass. That was wild.
That's probably why Ron Rivera got scared. He probably had the mob on him and was like, "Nah, man, we throwing this game.
You can't do nothing." But yeah, all right, guys. Appreciate y'all for stopping through. We will see y'all tomorrow. We're doing 8. Hey, Miss Tiff. Washington is trash. You are correct.
Yes,
we will
right.
always agree when you say Washington is trash. We will
Washington is trash. Let's get it right.
Hey, appreciate y'all for stopping through for real. We're gonna do 8 p.m.
Yeah,
8 p.m. Eastern, guys. We're going with the AFC West, and that should be a fun one as well.
Let's get it, man.
Man, this is going to be an interesting season, honestly, with all the changes in the running back position. Yeah. Are running backs making a case that they're not extinct?
We're gonna see. I mean, last year they were starting off a little bit okay, and then Nick Chubb got hurt, and then it kind of made the case that all right, we proved our point. They don't need to get paid.
Yeah. I think the year before was really a standoutish year for running backs.
Yeah,
you saw a lot of running backs hitting the 1,000 mark. Last year, not so much. But we'll see. We'll see if get to go eat.
Look, we already look. Let's do this preview about the AFC West. We already know who the number 1 team is. Let's just admit it.
Who you got?
We already know it's Kansas City. Like,
I was you just never know. Somebody could jump up there to you. You never know.
Oh, freaking McConnell at quarterback for the Raiders going to freaking send them to the Super Bowl. All right.
I wouldn't talk about them though. They wouldn't know what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm thinking about, I'm just saying. You just never know. They could have an off season. You know what I'm saying? They could have an off season, and somebody like Jim Harbaugh shows up. Oh wait, he's here. My bad. Jim Harbaugh's here.
All right.
Jim Harbaugh.
That's it today.
All right, guys. I was messing around. Thank y'all for showing up, man. A salute to True the King, up the score, Tiff. Thank y'all for stopping through. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow.